Hi folks, welcome to this week's video. This week we are talking about education, and specifically we are talking about A-levels. It's a topic that's come up sort of 3 times in the past couple of weeks while I've been chatting with parents, which is a cue for me to do a video on it and give you the information and my take on it, and hopefully you'll find that useful. Now, if you're going to try and undertake an A-level while you are undertaking a scholarship, okay, more people are doing that, and that's been a great advancement in the sector, but there are a few things you need to know. Primarily, the first thing you need to understand is that entry requirements, the requirements that allow you to do an A-level, are higher for footballers who are going on to a scholarship than they are for the general public. Right, let me explain what I mean by that. In order to do A-levels, you have to get certain scores in your GCSEs, right? Everybody has to do that. But those scores that you need to attain to get as a scholar are higher than the general public. So for the general public, let's just go through these requirements, all right? For the general public, you need 5 GCSEs at grade 4 and above. Okay, 5 GCSEs at grade 4 and above. For a scholar, you need 5 GCSEs at 7 and above. Okay? As a scholar, you also need one of those to be at 8 or a 9. So you need 5 at 7 or above, and you need 1 at 8 or 9. That isn't a requirement for the general public. It can change slightly depending on which A-level you want to do. Now let's talk about the A-level you want to do. Let's say you want to do biology. For the general public, you need a 6 or above in biology at GCSE in order to go on to do the A-level. The league football education requirements for a scholar is that you get 7 or above. So you have to get a higher grade in the subject you want to do if you are going to try and do an A-level alongside a scholarship. More than that, when it comes to English or maths, there are English or maths requirements. Again, slightly different depending on which A-level you want to do. But for the general public, English or maths, GCSE needs to be level 4 or above. For scholars, English or maths needs to be 7 or above. So scholars, in order to do an A-level alongside your scholarship, you will have to do a BTEC. You will have to do a BTEC, and if you want to do an A-level alongside that, you will have to score much higher. This is what you are going to need to get. You are going to need to get 7 in maths or English. You're going to need to get 5 GCSEs, 7 or above. You're going to need to get one of those to be an 8 or a 9. Okay, so of your 5, you can't have them all at 7. You need one of those to be 8 or 9. And in the subjects that you want to study, let's say biology, you need to have a 7 or above. Now, why is this the case? That on the face of it might seem unfair. Why have scholars got to go above and beyond? I think the consensus is you are having to do an A-level alongside a BTEC. You're not going to be able to not do the BTEC. And you've also got your scholarship, your football program to do alongside that. So probably the reasoning behind this is you need to be super gifted academically to be able to juggle all 3. I don't think it's worth getting into. Is it fair? Is it not fair? That is the reality. That's the way it is. Now, the consequences of this are worth us quickly discussing. Okay, if you don't get that, you can self-fund, and there are avenues through the PFA to gain some funding, but mainly that funding will come after you've completed the A-level. So the PFA will watch you go through your A-level. You'll pay for a tutor, you'll pay to do your exams, and then the PFA will give you your money back at the end of it. Why do they give it you back at the end? Because too many people have gone through, not completed. Whoever has foot the bill for the funding at the start, whether it be the PFA, and they've got their fingers burnt because people haven't then finished their course. That's the way it is. So you have to pay. You would have to pay for this up front, and then you'd get your money back at the end. But don't get caught out. The other thing with this is, so your league football educational regional officer, head of education at a club, they have a say, and they should have meetings with you around where they think your grades, your predicted grades are, and what they think you could go on to do. There should be another meeting once you've got your grades. So in those meetings, as early as you can, highlight that you, if you're the player or parent, are thinking you would like them to do an A level alongside it. It's a big undertaking. I'm an advocate for it. If you want to do it and you feel like you can do it, great. But you need to be talking about that early with your club, whether the LFE regional officer is there as well. That's what it is. Don't get caught out of it. Don't think that it's the same standards as the rest of the general public. It's not. It's slightly different. Hope that's helpful, and I shall see you next week for another video. If you liked this, like it, share it, comment underneath it, and don't forget to subscribe.